Okay, let's dive right into this. Have you ever wondered about the actual difference between just being fluent and being truly, undeniably proficient in a language? A lot of people think their English is highly advanced, right up until they suddenly encounter a C2 level word out in the wild. Well, today's explainer revolves around a pretty massive claim from our source material. If you know these 36 words, your English is excellent. So, we're going to take this rigorous but honestly incredibly fun 36-word challenge together to see where we actually rank. I highly encourage you to grab a pen and paper right now, or just use your mental notepad and keep a running score out of 36 as we go. And hey, don't cheat, because honestly, being truthful with yourself is the absolute best way to grow. So here's our roadmap for today to measure our language ability on the CEFR scale. We're starting with basic survival for A1 and A2, moving into the intermediate zone for B1, hitting business nuance for B2, stepping up to advanced academic for C1, and finally, native mastery for C2.
All right, Section 1, Basic Survival, covering levels A1 and A2. Let's rapid fire through these essential building blocks to start racking up your points. Ready? The opposite of expensive is cheap. Your mother or father's female sibling. That's your aunt. When you urgently need liquids as opposed to food, you're thirsty. The place where you go to buy books, not borrow them but buy them, is a bookstore. In the dead of winter, you wear gloves on your hands. Now, a brave person is bold, but a guy with no hair, he's bald. When you go on holiday, you pack your clothes in luggage. If the floor is wet, it's slippery. The list of foods you look at in a restaurant is a menu, not the bill which you pay at the end. And here's a fun little one. To repair something broken is to fix it. But remember, fix doesn't just apply to broken items. You can fix a relationship or even fix a date with somebody. Okay, boom, time for our first boss question at level A1. Select the correct word to fill in this blank. I need to dash my phone battery. Is it fill, load, or charge? The answer is charge. We fill a cup with water, sure, and we load a truck with boxes, but we always charge our electronics. That's a nice easy point to start us off. Moving right along, let's notch it up to the A2 boss question. Which word is the odd one out here? Customer, client, or colleague? Take a quick second. If you chose colleague, you get the point. The crucial distinction here is that customers and clients are people who actually pay you for a service or product. A colleague, however, is someone who works alongside you. Okay, we're heating up. Section 2, the intermediate zone, level B1. Let's see how you handle these B1 adjectives and verbs. If you absolutely refuse to change your mind, you aren't just stubborn, you're obstinate. If you're sad because your expectations weren't met, you're disappointed. When the police find a clue to help solve a crime, they have a lead. If food is completely uncooked, it's raw, which, by the way, is very different from rotten, meaning it has gone completely bad. And here is a vital distinction for the workplace. To quit a specific job is to resign. Retiring means stopping work forever, usually because of your age, but resigning just means you're leaving that one particular role. All right, here is your B1 boss question. Complete this sentence. I need to dash an appointment with the doctor. Is it do, make, or take? The answer is make. In English, we habitually pair the words make and appointment together. It's a concept linguists call a collocation, basically a pair or group of words that just naturally go together, like saying heavy drinker or strong coffee. You'd never say powerful coffee, right? You say strong coffee. And now we enter Section 3, Business Nuance, Level B2. Let's really test your precision here. Which of these three words is the odd one out? Gaze, stare, or glance? Think about how exactly you use your eyes for each of these actions. This brilliantly illustrates the whole point of B2 nuance. The odd one out is glance. Why? Well, it's all about time. Because a gaze and a stare are long, sustained looks, but a glance is a very quick, fleeting look. Understanding that subtle duration attached to the word is exactly what makes you a B2 speaker. Notice how specific we're getting now? A person who focuses on small, totally unimportant details and criticizes them unnecessarily, they're nitpicky. A formal, highly professional way to say wealthy or rich is affluent. The absolute opposite of that, by the way, is destitute. Now, an explanation based purely on evidence and logical reasoning is rational. And if a statement is unclear or open to multiple interpretations, it's ambiguous. Just be super careful not to confuse that with ambidextrous. An ambiguous person is unclear, an ambidextrous person uses both hands to write. Time to face the B2 boss.
Which word describes a person who refuses to take sides in a conflict? Biased, neutral, or involved? The correct answer is neutral, which is also known as impartial. If you chose biased, that's actually the exact opposite of neutral. Huge congratulations if you've managed to maintain a perfect score so far.
All right, Section 4, Advanced Academic, Level C1. Let's take a look at two absolutely incredible verbs. To exacerbate means to make a bad situation even worse. The exact opposite is to mitigate, which means to make something less severe or less painful. Our source uses a really great example here. Think of a defense lawyer in a courtroom. The lawyer's goal isn't to exacerbate the situation. Their entire job is to mitigate the severity of the crime their client is accused of, hopefully to get a lighter sentence. Here are some essential C1 words you definitely need to know. If something is completely unavoidable and will definitely happen, it's inevitable. When you're faced with a really difficult choice between two options, you are in a dilemma. And if someone is using very few words to express a ton of information, they're being concise. Being concise is a highly desired superpower in academic and professional writing. All right, let's tackle the C1 boss question. What exact word describes a person who shows no emotion, no interest, or no concern? Is it meticulous, reckless, or apathetic? The answer is apathetic. Now, it's super easy to get confused here. Reckless just means careless in general, but apathetic is highly specific. It means you just genuinely do not care about a specific thing or situation. Meticulous, on the totally other hand, is showing great attention to detail. Here we go, the big one. Section 5, Native Mastery, Level C2. Our first C2 word is just fantastic, obsequious. As the source notes, the pronunciation here is definitely on the harder side, obsequious. If someone is obsequious, they are overly obedient. They act almost like a servant, trying way too hard to please the people around them. It's not just being polite, it's being submissive to a genuinely uncomfortable degree. Next up is a brilliant word for an auditory experience, cacophony. A cacophony is a harsh, confusing mixture of sounds. Imagine a scenario where far too many people are shouting and talking over each other at exactly the same time, and absolutely nobody can be understood. You actually see this exact situation on television talk shows or news media debates literally all the time. That wall of noise is a cacophony. Moving right along, we have the word esoteric. If something is esoteric, it means it's specialized knowledge understood by only a very small, specific group of people. For example, a debate or a book written for an incredibly specialized audience is usually way too difficult for the general public to grasp, but it makes perfect sense to them. And here it is, the final, ultimate C2 boss question. Complete the sentence, he was an dash employee who never finished his task. We're looking for the C2 word for lazy or avoiding work. Is it indolent, insolent, or indigent? The correct answer is indolent. An indolent employee avoids work. If you picked insolent, that actually means rude. And if you picked indigent, that means incredibly poor. Indolent is the true mastery word for lazy.
That brings us to the magic number 36. We've gone from basic travel vocabulary all the way to describing esoteric concepts and indolent colleagues. Remember our core claim today? If you know these 36 words, your English is excellent. I want you to calculate your final score out of 36 right now. Be completely honest, did you get all 36? Drop your score in the comments below because I genuinely want to see how we all stacked up. Did any of you actually manage to hit C2 mastery?
So I'll leave you with this final thought. Are you truly a C2 master, or did a few of those words catch you totally off guard? If you want to dive deeper and get a full scientific analysis of your vocabulary size, grammar, and reading comprehension, check out the links in the description. Our source has provided a comprehensive test where you can actually earn a certificate. Go take that test and keep leveling up. Because ultimately, language isn't just about the words you know, it's about the worlds those words open up for you. So, which new word are you going to use today?